Ahoy, wonders, and welcome back one last time to Los Serranos at the table.
Oh, we were rolling that whole time. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. Hey, no worries. I know when my cue is.
I'm on a tangent with the mouse, and meanwhile, you go.
We've been live for a hot minute. By the way, if you tune in live, you get all the pre-show stuff that you don't get in the archive, and it's fun. We have fun here. We try to have fun.
Yep.
We do our best. We do our damnedest. Speaking of having fun, we just obliterated the son of a demon lord.
We did it.
Yep.
He's arms now.
You have
what's left.
basically destroyed what is a lesser Baylor demon.
Okay, give me, as someone who doesn't know D&D monsters and damage and
CR20
level scaling, what's that? What are we talking here?
Baylor's
Lesser Baylor demon, what's a normal Baylor demon equivalent versus...
Well, if I threw a regular Baylor demon at you guys, that's a CR 16 to 19 monster, which is almost god status.
Okay, so...
Yeah, it's demigod territory.
Near
Anything around
god level
20.
powers, and we're fighting like
The
the
highest level CR creature in the vanilla monster book is the Tarrasque. That's a CR 30.
Okay.
I imagine that's what the equivalent is of the monster in Barnacle Bay. Something that's like beyond world ending.
I will say this: I've accounted in this game. I've accounted in my universe for things that are CR 40.
Okay.
Okay. So that's
the universe, though, not necessarily the planet we're on.
Oh yeah.
There's some space.
If we ever found the main body of the Chuadentia, then we.
That'd be 30. You'd be fighting a Tarrasque at that point.
Okay. And which I feel like I heard at some point, like the only thing that beats a Tarrasque is Wish or something.
That's the only way you can keep it dead.
Okay,
You can render it unconscious and back into hibernation, but you can't keep. But it will not stay dead. It will come back in like 1,000 years or something. Is I think what the.
And so Baylor Demon's a couple steps down from
Yeah. Well, basically you're fighting a Prince of Hell.
They're like greater demons.
Okay.
All right. You're talking Balrog?
But not like demon lords.
Okay. So Balrog from Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we Gandalfed our way up that mountain and pushed him off.
Yeah, but unlike Gandalf, we're not getting solo XP from it. Gandalf totally ripped off the party there.
Yeah.
Like, all of you run, I'm getting this loot.
Fly, you fools, so I can land my...
Look at my sick new white coat!
I evolved into epic status.
I've got skill points in White Mage now.
I'm now level 20. It's fun to watch.
And there's Aragorn just sitting there. Oh, well, for fuck's sake!
Oh, Aragorn's like level 10. I went through a phase where I was watching through Lord of the Rings. I was like, what if this were a D&D campaign? I'm like, what levels are these guys? Well, the hobbits are clearly like level 1 or 2.
Yeah,
they get to at least like
they get to like
5,
maybe level
6.
3 or 4. They maxed out stealth. They got good there.
Yeah, like they got some magic fucking
Mary
busted
like
shit
knocked
for
some
that.
things out in the last big fight,
Hey,
right?
rolled some crits.
Yeah. I mean, you got some good rolls.
Was it Pippin or was it Merry that was out in the middle of the field when he was
I feel
fighting?
like I remember it being Merry. I think Pippin was hanging out with the friggin' guy.
No, it was
guy
Pippin.
from Fringe.
No, Merry
Pippin was out. Pippin was out in the field.
Okay.
Yeah,
well,
Pippin was out in the field.
Either way,
guess who else was out in the field? You guys. Last time you guys remember anything was happening, flash of white light as the Baylor demon himself exploded.
Wake takes Wake basically.
No.
Oh,
Wake doesn't take anything.
I'm saying all I'm saying is he's at wit's end. So
I need
feel free to
everyone.
let me know.
taking stock of the situation.
I need everyone to roll me a con save.
Oh Jesus.
Okay. It's gonna be a minute.
23.
19.
16.
Chromagil is the only one who wakes up from anything. From that white light, he then notices that like there's mouth kind of like entering his mouth or like into his eye holes.
There's a mouth going into your eyes.
You kind of like lift your head. The rest of your body is completely numb and heavy. You like look around. Your body is covered in like second, maybe first degree burns. As you get up, you holster yourself upwards. You are facing in a diagonal slant going down, and below you is the ocean, just like a regular blue ocean. You are on top of what is the wreckage of the two ships that collided against each other.
Okay, so I'm...
Your HP, like everything you're at stat-wise, it's all there.
Right,
like, nothing has changed on that.
But
None of us who failed the con save took any damage?
We don't know just
Oh,
yet.
okay. Fair enough.
The Chromagil right now is the only one who has woken up.
Unsure with how much time has passed. Chromagil just kind of lets off the best sneeze he can to spread his spores. Just. Hello? Is anybody out there? Hello?
No one responds.
Okay. All right. I'm kind of like you said. I'm like kind of pushing myself up, so I am able to move.
You are able to move. Like you can move, see, do whatever. That's all fine. But like for the most part, like you look at yourself, you're just fucking branded in marks from fire.
All right, then.
Because the last thing you remember from this thing exploding was a searing source of light. The moon, the black moon in the sky, pretty much exploded or cracked in half, and then the Baylor demon exploded, and then there was searing flame, and then a white light, and then just like the tinnitus noise, like the tinnitus noise in your ear, like.
Do I have any sort of like sense of like where people were before I whited out? Essentially, like, do I know roughly where the fight was happening?
You would have to roll a perception check or an investigation check of your choosing.
I'm going to percept. Nat 20.
Yo.
So
Nat 20? Very
I'm
good.
looking pretty good.
You kind of like sit yourself up. You're standing on a piece of wood that's kind of like bobbing enough that you can stand on it with no problem. Yeah, both of the ships fucking got destroyed. There are bits and pieces of floating debris everywhere. You see no demons, but all around you, you see folks either stranded on other pieces of the broken ships that are floating above the water, or just treading in the water. Like, all your allies are there, but they're just treading in the water.
Does anyone appear to be in more danger than anyone else? Like,
well, last you remember, Grammy wasn't doing too hot. She was knocked cold and had 2 death saving throws.
All right, well, I'm looking for her. I'm scanning the... Do I need to do another perception to see if I can look for her specifically?
With a nat 20, I'll say you find her.
Okay, then I...
She's just bobbing in the water, yet sitting on top of her. She's like a little rubber duck, just like floating on top of her.
Well, okay, her familiar being here is at least a good side. I start trying to, I guess, fish her out of the water, or just kind of pull at her. Is she floating out of ways, or?
She's a bit of ways away. You're either gonna have to swim the piece over with a vehicle proficiency check, which I don't believe you have. So that would just be a raw 20.
Okay.
Or you could swim over.
If I recall correctly, you're very buoyant.
I feel like I floated a bit at some point, but
you're out in the open ocean too.
And I also feel like I've walked on floors of water.
You also have a big heavy fuck-off axe on your back.
That too. Well, okay. I shed my heavy equipment and I start making my way to swim out there.
Okay, athletics check, please.
Significantly less good. 12.
Yeah, like he said, your head kind of just like wobbles you, so you kind of like all of a sudden, like you enter the water, you dunk yourself in, the head of your cap like pushes you up, but your cap is the only thing breaching the surface, so it looks like this as you're running underneath the water and it's moving you forward. Enough with that goofy shit. You get Grammy, you pick her up. But you're now floating in the middle of the water, you see some debris. Roll me another athletics check.
18.
Yeah, easy enough. You find a big enough piece of debris to put her on top of it. She's bleeding profusely.
From my cap, I pull out the greater healing potion that Wake had given to me and start pouring it
Roll that healing.
on what I believe to be her mouth as a creature who doesn't know.
Whichever orifice.
44.
I think this is a mouth.
No, so he's like looking around like, where's the mouth? And then he just like takes the bottle.
It just shatters it.
Yeah.
We'll get in. We'll seep.
Ma.
And I heal her for 13 health.
She is still below 2 HP.
Wow.
But not below 0?
But
Below 0.
Oh, shit.
She is below 0 by 2 HP.
oh, okay.
Oh.
Wow.
We're tallying negative shit.
Well, all right. She's still unconscious, but that's the only means I have to heal
If
someone
that is the
else.
only means you have, I have to roll that third saving throw.
Oh, boy.
Huh?
So she's at 2 passes, 1 fail?
She's at 2 fails, 1 pass.
Oh, okay. Nat 20.
All right. Yeah. There's nothing else I can do for her at that point. So.
Out of my hands. Wow, it went from 2 to 12. She saves.
Okay, so she's not
She's
stable
stable.
yet.
Yeah.
She
She is not dead.
she's not dead, but something's got to be done fast. Chromagil, what do you want to do?
This next one's a pass-fail.
I start trying to just bring her.
You can medicine check to attempt to stabilize her.
What kind of medicine? Actually, you know what? I've got some bonuses in medicine. Sure. All right. I think I understand somewhat her physiology. 16.
That's a feat in its own right.
16.
16. Stabilize her to 0.
Okay. She won't die, but I still need to find help for her.
She is unconscious and up by 1 HP at this point.
Okay,
Little
we're
fungal
on some
patches in the
driftwood
woods.
in the ocean with 2 crashed ships nearby and a bunch of other people struggling. I'm gonna just look around and see
Still a
if
naval battle going on in the background there.
pretty much, yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. As you look around everywhere else, remember that ship you guys saw all the way on the distance that had the giant dragon skull?
Yeah.
That's closer, like 100 feet closer.
Oh, that's not. That's
You look
bad
behind you
time.
and the battle is still going on. Apparently you were the only ship able to breach and get this far. You look around, besides that, you look around and now notice there's like a bunch of other people sitting around floating or sitting on debris. Everyone's knocked out, but pretty much safe at this point. So I'm gonna say for the sake of getting these guys into the
go ahead.
conversation, you find them.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm going to start heading towards wherever I see the most people, just to try and get Grammy towards maybe someone who can help her beyond where I've got her.
I probably got blasted off the side of the ship where I was standing.
Yeah, everyone kind of just like got scattered away at that
Luckily, I can breathe in water, so.
Yeah.
Although
Fear
that
of you
does-
drowning is
Although
not a
that
big problem.
does raise a question. Remember what Zaslamel said? That any demon who actually touched a body of water would get sent back away? Where's Slowbon?
Oh no.
Not slow,
To be fair, I don't think I'd even be thinking about Slowbun right now.
That's fair.
He'd look like almost any other target.
Roll me a 1d4.
Me or
You.
okay. 2.
You find Wake, sitting in a tangled, rolled up strand of netting. He's still there.
Wake! Wake! I kind of like paddle us over towards him.
How will you wake him up?
I normally splash water on people to wake them up, but he's partially submerged. That can't. I kind of just grab him and just try to shake him.
Athletics versus your con save.
Shake him! Wake! Awaken!
There it
With an
is.
athletics check, I get 23.
If it's versus my con save, I don't pass.
Not verse. I just wanted a con save out of you.
Con save 15.
15?
This is whether or not I hurt you when I'm waking you up.
Hear a snap.
No, you hear you hear like a constant like knocking on wood, and then you realize it's a sharp shearing pain in the back of your head as Chromagil is shaking you against a mass.
Ow, ow, ow.
Ow! Wake up! Wake! That's
Please!
my name twice. Oh, good. You're back. What happened? Well, the demon we were fighting exploded, and there was a bright light, and I woke up and our ships have crashed, and everyone's kind of scattered. I think I've stabilized Grammy, but I'm going to go out and look for more.
Okay, I'm kind of tangled. I reach for one of my knives in my bandolier to kind of like cut myself loose
Survival.
from the net. 18.
Easy enough. You cut yourself out of the mass.
I freely swim around using my
Okay.
tail and yeah, I'm impossibly fast in the water, so I'm going to assist him in searching for people and
You
rounding
find
them up.
You find Morgan. You find his You find Morgan kind of like hanging halfway over a piece of a crate that's kind of like floating in the water, and there's a seagull sitting on top of him pecking at him.
I push the crate and Morgan closer to where everybody else, like where we're gathering people, like
So
trying
he's
to get
knocked
them.
out.
Yeah, I'm just moving his body right now. Just trying to get everybody together so we know where everyone is, I think is Wake's first priority. Because
Survival-
Morgan, he's wearing a big heavy chest plate, so he's not going to be out there gathering
Swimming.
people.
All right, so both of you survival check at this point.
12.
19.
It takes time, but you're rounding everyone up. you kind of like find the big piece of wood that Chromiga was sitting on. It's the biggest piece that you guys were capable of holding on to. You get pretty much everyone on board here. Everyone's kind of like still knocked out. They're floating. Like getting them out of the water was probably the best course of action at this point, because if you left a few of them, they would have just surely drowned or floated off.
Do either of these ships that careened into each other, do either of them have a, let's say, like a rowboat or a lifeboat or a
Investigation.
a vessel that you would use to get to shore? Investigation minus 115.
15. You see one functioning-looking rowboat off to the side.
I'm going to see if I can corral that, because I feel like that's going to be better than a piece of driftwood.
At this point, everyone starts waking up.
Ugh,
Oh, Morgan, you're alive.
barely. Did we do it?
Well, we defeated the beast we were fighting. However, I kind of like point towards the dragon-adorned ship that is getting closer.
Well, shit.
I don't think we're quite done yet with whatever we're doing, but I think we need to get everyone kind of back together and regroup first.
Right.
A lot of people sustained a good chunk of damage, so everyone's really fucking exhausted from the fight, from this whole harrowing experience, as it were.
Wake's barely able to scale the side of the ship in order to get the rowboat.
Oh, God.
My
My bones.
So that good old gunship's getting closer and closer. What do you guys spend your time doing at this point?
I'm trying to get us a rowboat that we can move out with.
I would just be trying to keep everyone relatively gathered, the people who aren't conscious yet, if there are any, just making sure that they're not drifting off somewhere or in worse condition than we're realizing. Just kind of trying to check everybody and make sure things are okay.
So, Morgan.
Probably I would be assisting with Chromiga a little bit, probably through a series of medicine checks. Anyone
All right.
who needs assistance.
Medicine check with advantage and investigation check for you.
I already found it, or do you need me to?
Again.
Oh, okay.
I have a 19 on medicine.
Yeah, 16.
16? Okay. With your guys' assistance, you're able to get everyone. Everyone is all pieced together here. Everyone's accounted for. They're all still kind of knocked out or just barely getting out of their stupor from the explosion. You find bits and pieces of another like rowboat, but that doesn't really help. But you do find a couple of like other bits of pieces of wood that, if put together correctly, they could possibly like be buoyant enough for you guys to move somewhere.
Okay. What about that other rowboat that I found the first time? Is that?
That's working. You
Okay.
have the one. You were trying to find another one. It's fucking abolished.
Oh, I just meant I was trying to get that one to everybody, basically.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, it's not fitting everyone.
Okay.
It's probably fitting a good like half of the crew you have with you right now.
Like double up, have people sit on laps, maybe. The wrist is small.
You're gonna tell me you're gonna find a spot to fit Roy in there and Barabbas at the same time?
Barabbas can fly.
The man's fucking like just came out of a fight.
So did I. I'm willing to swim.
That's basically what birds are doing in the sky, right?
Yeah. They swim in the air with their light little bones and their heavy plate mail.
Hollow bird bones and heavy plate mail. All right, so
He's also probably covered in water.
yeah, I was about to say like trying to fly with a doused set of feathers ain't really gonna happen.
I think there are enough people here with prestidigitation or prestidigitation-like effects that could de-douse him, but...
Okay, so you pretty much everyone gets like a little like some kind of way to keep themselves above water. Everyone's still waking up from the entire situation. The gunship's getting closer and closer.
We need to go.
Yeah.
Now, everybody that can, grab an oar. I'm gonna push.
All right, everyone roll athletics with disadvantage.
Dice. 2 dice. I would go from a 19 to a 4 on the die.
13.
11.
Athletics, you said?
Yep,
That's a 17.
17. All All right, good enough. You guys are, like, with assistance from your allies or any allies who have a fucking or have their eyes open. Start moving the pieces of wood. Start moving the ship that you guys have, the little rowboat you found. You're not outrunning a gunship.
No.
Nope.
We're trying to move landward, so maybe at the very least it might run aground.
Oh, we're like open ocean, right? Like there's like no.
Yeah,
land.
we're in a very wide canal.
You're in a very wide open ocean. So here's the directions you have. Go into the open ocean both ways. Go towards the gunboat or go back towards the fight that's happening behind you.
Okay.
Fight that's happening behind us at least has ships that we could board.
Yeah.
Also seems like a lot of carnage to be running into, but I don't think we have very many options, and I prefer that versus just open water.
We can take cover in the carnage too.
True.
And at the very least,
We might be able to find our dragon friends, and they might be able to help ferry us
yeah,
somewhere.
and at the very least, moving towards that way buys us a few more seconds that we would not have if we head towards them.
Yeah.
You decide that heading towards the fight is a better idea.
Yes.
I mean, out of all the options,
Yeah, it's not a great option, but I'm gonna say between.
it's back towards where reinforcements would be coming from.
All right. I need everyone to roll me a perception check.
15.
19.
14.
Bless you.
Thank you. Sorry, really sneezing.
'Tis the season.
Time of year.
You could have sworn that you went from one location looking forward and then looking behind you, and then there's another gunship heading towards you guys.
Like from the opposite side.
Yep, from where the carnage is, because of the mist rolling in, you couldn't account for the fact. You didn't account for the fact of like what other ships are out off there in the distance. You just see the gunfire coming from the cannons. But now you see the silhouette of a gunship approaching you from behind.
So basically, things are converging on us.
Do they look like the same gunship? Do they fly the same colors?
You would have to roll me a investigation check on that one.
And that's what I got with a
I
19
also-
on perception.
Yeah,
Okay.
Oh, that's a nat 20.
it's the Cascade.
That's the reinforcements we've been waiting for, right?
That's the ship.
Yeah, that's the one.
That's the gunship.
Looks like we gave him enough time.
Oh, thank God. Continue pushing towards that, only at an angle so we don't get run over.
All right. Well, you head towards the ship that's heading over to you guys. They don't really stop. They're kind of like they're kind of going because they don't really like notice you so far. You might have to wave them down and like you're now alongside the Cascade. You're probably gonna have to like do something to get their attention at this point. Or at least because it's the dark of night in the middle of fighting in a mist-covered sea.
Chromagil sneezes, sending his spores in a 30-foot radius.
That's not reaching.
Ah!
I have 2 chromatic reds. If I just fire a shot in the air, do you think?
This would be a flare.
That'd be something.
Yeah. So let me just bless you.
I think they're too far for my spores to reach them. They can't hear me.
I got it. I got it.
Morgan's just so done.
Please be fire. Please be fire.
Roll.
Oh,
use
it's a
D6 with a
shadow
damage type.
ball.
Electric would also glow.
1.
Fire.
Oh,
Hey,
thank God.
Hooray!
Boom. You hear a splash.
Good shot, Morgan.
Hopefully that was.
Thank you.
Hopefully that was one of theirs.
There was a goblin like that was on fire coming down the ship. He's fine. He fell in the water and he came back out. He's just knocked out.
Looks like we injured somebody.
He's gonna slip on his climbing claws just to.
Oh, they saw that. Like,
Oh, okay, I was
you-
gonna say either way I could board the ship.
that was fluff for shits and
Yeah.
giggles. Even if you attempted to board the ship, it was like made of flat metal.
Oh.
You've
I
never
didn't say it would be easy.
you saw. This is the actually kind of like rare for you. Metal ships don't exist in this era, so seeing a
iron
ship like
sides.
this is weird. The only way you could have possibly grabbed onto the side of the ship was grabbing the bolts that was extending outside the plating.
Unless I learned how to metal bend.
There you go. Very good.
However, they kind of like look overboard and then they notice like there's a whole lot of people down there. They don't stop the ship, but they throw down like a lever and a bunch of rope for everyone to grab onto. So they like hold down netting for people to get on from the from down below the deck.
I'll anchor the rope from the water.
Roll survival check.
I just meant I was gonna hold on to it while they're
Yeah.
climbing. 22.
You grab the rope, do a couple of really nice knots. A bunch of folks begin to climb up, but then like as soon as everyone's kind of like attached to the rope, they start pulling you guys up on the deck.
Oh, wasn't expecting this. Oh boy!
And after all that is said and done, you have a whole bunch of crew members from like almost every organization from the South Sea Pirates kind of just like usher you guys on board.
Wake just flops onto the deck, and like half of his scales are like charred black. He's bleeding a lot.
I just imagine you flopping around like a freshly caught fish.
Oh, no! My tail! Got it!
Oh, they're their legs now. Yeah, I have 5 HP.
Yeah, they take you on inside. They take you inside to like the loading area where all the other captains are kind of like looking out towards the ocean. So it's like the same area where like the wheel should be, but it's being covered by another sheet of metal.
We killed his son.
Oh yes. Zaslamel kind of like looks to you. Oh, trust us, we know. We heard his cry for at least 5 minutes.
I don't remember that much. I was out for a while.
We figured you for dead. We saw your wreckage and we came towards this way.
Well, I'm not, I think.
We have a few.
She hands you a bottle of grog.
I try to grab it, but my ghost hand is like non-functioning.
Shit.
Grab it with my real hand.
We have a few injured, some in slightly critical condition. If you have any med people on your ship, we would love to have them at least be looked at.
Well, we'll do our best, son. For now, like, me turns to you. For now, let us actually uphold our end of the bargain. You watch as he, like, turns over and looks towards the gunship that's almost approaching on you guys. You can, like, look, it's not easy to see. Like, there's, like, fire dancing off the side of the ship. The fucking, the dragon bones are kind of, like, moving independent of themselves. The ship, like, a bunch of the folks on board are now getting ready to load their cannons. Like, you could just fucking see it from here.
Do you need us to take up any stations? I still got some fight left in me.
No need, son. Mead grabs a lever and pulls it. You hear whirring. I need everyone to roll a deck save.
Uh-oh.
50.
I don't really need it, but nat 20.
6.
Morgan hits the floor. You hear the entire ship begin to, like, you feel the entire ship rumble like it's an earthquake. You almost hear, like, this whirring, almost like mechanical, like, clockwork as something is being, like, extended out from the side of the ship.
I rush to a side window.
You look outside, and now there is a giant bulb that almost looks like, remember the engine propulsion system you saw in one of the test rockets?
Vaguely.
It's that, but like 30 times bigger, now extending from the side. It's like a giant orb. 2 orbs that kind of like stick out the side. They begin to glow an arcanish blue, and then from that, a blue flame erupts from the side and it lifts off the ground. Every cannon from the gunship below you is desperately trying to aim at you guys, but cannot reach you. The cannon fire cannot reach aiming above. It starts turning into the idea that they now need to start throwing their own fireballs to try and reach you, and it just carelessly bounces off the fucking side of the metal plating.
Well, I was right. They did fuck with the wrong realm.
You hear another whirring as you notice that the entire nose of the ship begins to get longer and longer. It almost looks like the end of a rifle.
Is that? Are we? Chromagale's still not entirely sure what's happening with everything. Are we? Why is the water so far away?
Chromagale, I think we're in the air.
You actually notice that like there are seagulls trying to fly away desperately away from the ship, but like they're gaining, like the ship is gaining so much altitude that the fucking birds like get landed and sit on it like.
I don't know how I feel about this, but it is kind of amazing.
Chromagill just kind of holds
Take
on
pride,
to the-
son. You're the first person in Los Aranas to fly without the need of wings. Aviation has just been created this day.
Aviation.
Chromagill just kind of sits trying to understand what he's witnessed.
Well, now comes the best part. Hopefully, if Lot here, he like looks over at Lot, who's like haggard and like just like looking. He's smiling.
He's been up all night working.
He's
on
been
this,
up
and
all
now
night
he's-
working, but he's smiling and looking at this. Like this is like fucking.
His baby just took off.
This is like 20 to 30 years of the pirates doing, all coming to a head. So every captain here is kind of a little ecstatic and celebrating in their own way, until finally Mead, who isn't really like plussed about this just yet because he's looking off at the gunship, and he like turns the wheel a little bit, and you watch as the nose of the ship aims directly at it.
So we're kind of like at an angle right now.
Yep.
Whoa.
You watch as he lifts up another lever and like kind of like pulls it this way. From the floor, some clockwork begins to whirl, and another pillar rises up, and it looks like it's the scarab inside of a crystal.
I remember you.
And there's a big red button underneath it.
What's that? What's this do?
I point towards the button.
I would have liked to have pressed this myself, son, but I feel like after everything that's been done, I feel a lot of you could do the honors. How would you all like to end this here and now?
That does sound nice.
Morgan, I
Gently,
feel like
but-
this is a good bookend for you if you would want to do the honors.
Morgan shuffles over to Wake, grabs your physical hand, and then grabs Chromagill's big
Stump.
fingies. His big fingies. It's the fruits of our labor, lads. We'll be able to
Slam.
push the button.
One more save dex for everyone.
Okay.
Everything goes quiet for a
Not
moment.
20.
7. Chromagill might not be standing up with whatever happens.
26.
Mead, the last thing you hear before everything begins to happen is Mead turns to you all. Grab onto something, lads.
Like what?
The crystal begins to glow, and the scarab like starts fluttering its wings inside the device. The entire ship is rumbling. That arcane energy that's holding up the flames, that's now approaching on the gun itself. That's on the tip of the ship. There is now blue flames that look like they could overtake the entire ship, just like appearing there. Chromagill, you can feel nature it's taking its course through this entire cannon. You can feel Udot's entire fury and rage being packaged into one device.
This seems like too much power for mere mortals to hold, but what a show.
Quick question. This thing's never been tested, has it?
Lot. Nope!
Oh boy!
The fire overtakes the entire barrel. It takes up the whole front of the ship. The ship
pretty
feels
hot.
like it's about to fucking collapse on itself. You hear the walls creaking. You feel the ship shaking.
Wake is going to burn the remainder of his ki to try to keep that fire outside of this area, just like using as much of his elemental energy as possible to. It's 5 key points. that I'm burning.
Konari kind of like moseys on up to you and like takes your hand and puts it down. There's no need for that.
Well, I already burned it.
You don't have to.
It's too
Yeah,
late.
yeah. Konari kind of like walks up to you, just takes your hand and moves it down. There's no need for that. Father knows his ilk.
That's fine, but that's still really hot.
It doesn't burn you. Like you don't feel the heat.
It is clearly hot, but we are not feeling any sort of heat from it.
Mm-hmm.
The anti-James Woods. I don't feel the heat.
So, you all watch or those who like didn't like fucking fall off, because the entire cannon like loads up like a shotgun. It springs forward. The entire ship is thrown back 120 feet.
Wow!
Still in the air. You're still in the air.
If anything, we're higher now.
Yeah.
Yep. You pretty much got shot higher above the clouds. So from what you guys see below is the shot is a giant lined beam of energy that fires. It missed and went under the ship.
Can we load another one of those?
A little awkward. Sorry, it was the first time aiming this, I'm guessing.
We were just supposed to
Chromagill-
press the button, right? We weren't supposed to triangulate.
Chromagill, considering the fact that you kind of like put yourself within the realm of Udath, you kind of like had this weird druidic feeling of what it's like to see new life spring before you and like what that energy kind of gives off. That just fucking buckshot in the earth and it's underneath the ocean and rising.
Oh, I don't think the beam was the impact here. I think
Well, what was? Because we completely missed.
You watch as a ribcage of earth rises out of the ocean.
that's what we were shooting.
Oh.
Like a giant tunnel, it just comes out. Like you're watching as a giant tunnel is being like risen out of the floor, out of the ocean. It's creating like these weird little archipelagos that almost make like the line of shot, like at the exit point of a gun.
I think we just created new land.
The earth opens, the ribcage of the earth comes out from underneath the ship, and you watch as the entire fucking new form of earth closes down on the ship like a Venus flytrap.
And I don't think they were ready for it.
Nope.
So now what? Did we get him?
The entire ribcage begins to shake violently. There is a, you know, like in anime when like a spark of fire underneath a cloth begins to like show like this weird burst of a bubbles.
Mm-hmm.
That's appearing inside the mouth of the closed earth. It begins to expand and expand and expand until finally the tip where there's a little bit of probably any location where the where something can climb out of. You watch as like these weird ethereal wisps begin to drive out. Morgan, those are souls.
Oh, man.
You're watching as wisps of energy start to pour out, and then violently, they shoot off into the distance near the west. Until finally a larger one culminates. You see the like upper torso of like what looks like a man, like almost like encased in carbonite, kind of trying to push himself out. Like he's, yeah, like the face, the hands, they're kind of like grasping to get out of this wisp that he's made out of. And he's trying to fight the force that's pulling him away. That is Vecker to a T, pulling strings on that. Want to roll an arcane check for that?
19.
The shot destroyed his body so hard that now that the souls are returning to their origin point where the portal was, which is Barnacle Bay, Kelpie, Udath, and Ludarius no longer have to keep the monster at bay anymore because they're returning to the origin point. You're being assisted.
The spirits have pulled them away with us.
You watch as the face looks towards you all and lets out a fucking massive yell, like he's like a war cry, basically. You hear this spectral war cry that almost feels like how Reese died, like that scream he let out before he just vanished off. And the last thing you see is a small ripple of energy, like a bit of a explosion, like the small ring of an explosion. And he gets fired off into the distance and his voice fades away as he is taken west.
Chromagill looks up at the sky. Is it still red and scary and shit?
It's nighttime, if I recall.
Yeah, it's nighttime at this point.
Okay.
The moon is no longer black.
Yeah, we fixed that.
Okay, then never mind. Then that's...
There's a odd stir and an odd silence until all of a sudden everyone starts feeling this weird chill run down their spine as, remember, you were shot back because of the fire, because of the firing mechanism. So now that technically means that you're above where the entire battle was going on from behind you. Souls of devils are being pulled upward, and then shooting off to the west. So you're watching as a bunch of demon souls are kind of like converging all at once around you, and then being like fucking ricocheted to the west.
I mean, a bonfire. We got a lot of levels to spend.
Better grab your Estus flasks.
Below you hear the faint sounds of cheering.
Did we win? We did it?
Yep.
Crowwiggle just kind of like stands up and just tries to like look around and take stock of everything and see what the crew's looking like. Do they seem psyched? Are they still looking like they're waiting for something?
Mead has been standing there the whole time, like he's fucking disheveled because of the entire shop, and he's been standing there. The man was gripping onto the motherboard of the ship, or at least like the dashboard of the ship. He's grabbing onto it. You see his fingers are bleeding because he was holding onto it so tightly. A tear rolls down his eye.
Crowwiggle walks up and just kind of pats him on the back. Congratulations, Captain. I think you just won a war.
It'll be hard for the Navy to deny this kind of tech.
Mead openly, like, he doesn't like openly weep, but like you see like tears are running down his face. He cracks a smile. Zasamel, I think I'll have that grog now. Congratulations, gentlemen. You have just successfully stopped the onrush.
Hooray!
Take that, demons!
Wake takes a moment to be happy about that, and then realizes he's on the brink of death and passes out.
Slowbon kind of like walks up, grabs you on the ass.
Wait, Slowbon?
Slowbon, Slowbon actually walled on up behind you, pat you on the ass. You feel energy.
Oh, my ass!
Hi. Everyone stops and turns and puts their weapons at him.
Wait. I know this one. Slowbon, you really didn't do anything wrong, did you? Is everything okay?
Slowbon kind of just like rubs his fingers together. He's just like, no, why would something, why be bad? We watched everyone else who was bad go away.
That's true. You've paid.
And how is he still here, says Barabbas.
Probably because he wasn't down with the main force, or maybe because he has a contract that's tying him here.
Wake has a realization, and he runs to find Nedra.
Nedra's still here.
Oh, thank God.
Walks 3 feet.
Oh, there she is. Okay, cool.
Yeah, Nedra's kind of just like looking around, just like, ooh, pretty fireworks, as a ghost like screams at her and flies away.
Fun.
She like watches as one like swings by. She like takes her bat and tries to hit one, which actually does work and careens one a little bit off to the side, but then it goes back west. Aww, that's
wait, hold on.
cheating.
I'm gonna try to catch one so she can smack it out of my hand with my ghost hand.
Roll an arcane check.
Yeah, let's do it!
Yeah, that kind of does raise a point. How can Slowbon be here?
That always has to be at least one. Natural wonders, which is an unnatural 0.
Okay, so you go to grab one and then...
My ghost hand's still not working.
Oh, no, you go to grab one.
I gotta get...
And then, Nedra, unfortunately, takes a swing and hits you in the head and you hit the deck.
He probably needed that in some way.
Yeah.
Roll a nature or arcane check I'm sorry, a religion or arcane check of your choosing.
Okay.
For you two.
Same bonus in both of them, which is 0. So this is a 2! I don't understand why
7.
Slowbon's here at all.
I rolled a 7.
Valtar, Micha, and Red are gonna give you an assistance, so roll advantage.
Try again.
9.
14.
14?
Yes.
Based on everything that has culminated to this point and all the information you've been gathering from the course of your entire journey, and the fact that Slowbon has not been, like, to the bet, like, not buddy-buddy with any of the fucking demons, and through all the shit that he's told you, he's not a full demon, he's a tiefling.
You're partially of this realm, aren't you?
I was born here, yeah. I'm born here, I went to other place and never left other place.
Huh.
You know...
You have just discovered a new brand of tiefling.
He's a goblin tiefling.
Huh. Well, congratulations, you just helped defend your home.
I want to break something now.
Well, do I know someone who loves that kind of stuff? Oh, Nedra!
She's like,
Poking at Wake with a stick.
yeah.
you have a unique experience in your life, knowing where you came from and finding this world to call your home. This is my friend Slowbon. He likes to break things.
I also like to break things. You're my best friend. Oh my god, we're best friends!
I really hope he doesn't corrupt her somehow. Just kind of steps away.
Wake is too unconscious to deal with
I
any of this.
think they'll be fine, Crow McGill. Then there's still this. Wake holds up a chromatic round.
Sure, Morgan.
No, Wake.
Okay.
Well, gentlemen,
He's manipulating the unconscious body.
well, gentlemen, at this point is where the game has met its actual conclusion.
Wow.
So we're in epilogue territory.
We have now entered epilogue territory. If
Where
we
did they
went
go?
any further, I would have said get a level.
Yeah.
I'll take it anyway.
I mean, that does mean you're now level 10, so that means that
I'm a level 10 warden!
you enter a paragon where the gods are now noticeable of you. Like, they now actually notice that you
They're
exist.
aware of me.
The gods are aware. The gods work with you when you get to 15.
Okay.
They'll talk to you later. You're like, look, the cool kids know you exist, but you're not allowed to sit at their table.
Yeah. At this point, it's basically the entire mortal realm knows you exist.
Hit level 15, and Vecker might invite you to a kegger.
Yep.
Bless you.
Oh, man.
So,
Tense when I started getting some weird stuff. Oh.
now, I have asked all of you to give me a little bit of an epilogue of what you wanted to do beforehand. I would say roll initiative, for at least a month has passed at this point. The victories are here, so if there's like a point where you feel like in your epilogues that would fit an entire month, do it now, but also know that I'm going to be giving information about all the NPCs that have helped you out this entire time.
There's a part of the epilogue I gave you that probably fits within that first month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'd say do that at least. So roll initiative, gentlemen.
12.
17.
16.
Alright.
Cromwell, you're up first.
That's good, because I feel like mine's pretty simple and probably would have been the most direct and immediate. After realizing that everything was safe and that the war had essentially ended, Crow McGill makes a trek back to his circle and goes to tell them the story of everything that happened. And he goes into such detail that telling the story takes about twice as long as living it did. So he's just there telling them the tales of everything he did and spreading the knowledge of the outside world to his circle, who has literally never left their little spot in the forest for thousands of years. So explaining that, no, they have ships that travel across great bodies of water, and apparently they can fly now. Like, these people have learned so much. They've become so much more advanced and diverse than anything we've ever seen before. Just really encouraging his people to, like, we should explore. We should try to meet these people, spread
Roll.
our knowledge with them, and share their knowledge with us, and learn from each other. Being reclusive like this has only held us back. We could help them, and they could help us.
Roll a persuasion check with advantage.
I don't think I'm gonna need advantage. That's a nat 20 right there.
Woo!
There you go.
More diverse than that rock?
Oh, little Spotty Gill, much more diverse than this rock.
God damn it.
There's more diverse rocks right over there.
This one has
You
moss.
can't see them being so short and all, but don't worry. I'll be there to protect you.
Sovereign, this one has a gemstone coming out of it.
Ooh, that's special. Thank you.
I can't turn my head.
Basically just encouraging his little group that has had legs and limbs and the ability to move for literally millennia and has just chosen to not use it. Going, you guys should do that more often. We should not hide out here. People have fascinating things and they learn so much faster together.
Okay, so based on your words and the stories you have told, some of the Myconids are a little shaken by the idea that something beyond a sovereign could do such an initiative. Though there are a few in your sect that have taken your words to heart. It's not a strong start, but it's a beginning. And with this beginning, 1, perhaps 2, perhaps 3, soon maybe a cluster of 10 within the month, have decided maybe this grove is not for me. And maybe the world is a little bit more bigger and I can spread the word of our sovereign a little bit more. And then who knows, maybe I can make allies with these people. Fuck you.
I will be the world's sovereign.
He'll be bigger than that Mike. Fuck him. He lives in the cave.
The funglet.
Chromagill's,
Oh yeah, the funglet. That's right.
Chromagill's not evil, but he did not realize that he was maybe starting some
It's not a
passive
cult,
world
I swear.
domination. Some passive world domination strategy.
Though, it was a quick step because the first place you went to was right. So a few of the myconids in your cluster decided, let me at least try here first, or at least as baby steps. So
And they
over
went
the
on
course
adventures
of
and died.
over the course of a couple of months, Wright has been visited upon by other myconids, and knowing that they came from you, they accept them with open arms.
Excellent. I hope that we can continue to travel.
Wait,
You said this takes place like the first couple of months?
this is 1 month
Ah,
later.
1 month. Okay, the first month would probably be a good majority of that Wake would volunteer his efforts in helping to clean up the destruction and remains of Ebercall after spending, a few days
Partying.
celebrating and, hanging out with friends, old and new. He would go to Ebercall probably with Nedra in order to help clean up what remnants there are of whatever demon horde there are, and to clean up wreckage to try to rebuild this civilization.
Also in tow is her new best friend Slowbon.
I do not. Look, if he
like
goes
a-
on the ship, you need to clean up after him. That's what I'm saying.
He's like a dog, Wait, can we keep him?
Yeah, can we keep me?
Oh God. I guess for now, as long as he doesn't cause any trouble.
I'm my own dog.
Oh boy.
Wake begrudgingly travels with Slowbon, but gets to know him as they travel and slowly but surely develops some form of affection towards it.
Okay, so with that, I need you to roll me an investigation check with advantage.
With advantage. All right. Well, damn, just like Grant, I don't think I need that. Nat 20. Holy shit.
Very nice.
The universe knows.
It knows the epilogue.
Yeah.
All right,
Morgan,
cool.
if you don't get a nat 20, we all know that you unfortunately died.
No. No one's
That might be fortunate for him, though.
no one's
Hey, you know,
dying
good
here.
point.
You hear about, you hear in Wright that there's going to be an expedition to go out and repair some of the facilities that was around Ebercall to try to at least pick up the pieces where things were broken. A lot of Azamar have been left stranded, and now they're kind of like a little scared and don't know what to do with themselves because their world entirely just blew up.
Yeah.
And knowing that they were the last line of defense before the onrush could have came back, kind of like let them see that oh shit, we were a big piece and now we're the final piece and now we're a broken piece. So you decide to head over there with Edward Castor, to assist in the efforts. Oh,
We've made peace.
he's not giving you shit.
Yeah.
He's not giving you shit at all.
You're
No,
a
the
renowned
dude-
hero of the onrush.
And the dude lost his daughter, and Wake feels for that.
So you spend the next month or so assisting with putting pieces back together. This is gonna take years of time to fix, but you kind of
Wake just wants to get the groundwork and help clear away rubble so that rebuilding can happen, basically.
Yeah, you
And
spend-
if there are any demons still left around there, help clear that out.
Oh no, the demons are gone because from what they told you, from what the Volition told you, is that once the big demon was gone, everyone else that came with him, because they were all summoned by him,
Gotcha.
go with him back.
Okay.
So the onrush is just completely fucking gone at this point.
So basically, Wake is there as cleanup and security in case of any other monstrosities that might be.
Oh, shit
wandering the
happens like
lands.
that. Because the city is broken, that means things from the desert can get in, like scorpions or giant, very angry talking vultures.
They abandoned me.
Interesting.
Him and his stupid fucking talking sword.
Yeah, Nedra adopts a talking vulture.
Feed me!
Okay.
Damn it! Why do we have so many pets?
She doesn't really adopt so much as she finds out that she brings it back. Slowbon discovers that it's actually a curse. And little did you know that Slowbon has removed curse.
Oh, so what happens to our talking vulture immortal friend?
The talking vulture was a very, very angry gnome who who has been trapped in this body, constantly hungry and thirsty for the past 100 years. He had finally been able to partake in drink and food for the first time in 100 years. So much so that when that was done, he invited you guys out into the desert to find his secret stash. You find an ancient gold tablet from Selima that actually talks about how to wrangle and keep genies at bay. Taking this information back, you bring it back to Mead, who then gives it.
I know exactly one person who would find this useful.
Yep, who gives it back to Siren. Siren gets to keep her soul basically because of this.
That worked out.
And I have made yet another ally within the Pirate Lords.
Zoomtight. And that was the first month.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
oh,
basically
interesting.
basically clearing out the rubble in Ibrakal. Does I'm curious, does Wake find any remnants of the previous wonders there that he would recognize
You
as
don't,
like
but-
scattered among the remains?
Unfortunately, no. That too much time has passed for that to even be considered. However, you do find the wreckages of what used to be a zoo. There is a corpse of a giant purple worm that Nedra finds until she comes back. Wake! I found more! She brings back 4 more Fey dragons.
Yes. We now have a small menagerie of Fey dragons.
A small brood,
We're gonna say
Yep.
as it
sudden
were.
uptick in illicit materials in the local area. Everyone's getting hit on it.
Morgan.
So, in the epilogue that I wrote to you, the battle with Resp took a toll unknowingly on Morgan. As I said in the last session, Morgan put everything he had on those chains. So, I didn't know about the 1 month rest time when I gave you this, so I would assume this
Would
is...
you like to keep this for later?
Sure.
We can keep this for later. What would Morgan do with a time of rest?
With the 1 month of rest, probably, honestly, kind of stick around with the South Sea Pirates and actually enjoy the world without constantly being under threat.
Okay, so you decide that a Buccaneer's life would probably be a little bit more of a restful bit for you.
Yeah.
So you will go back with the South Sea Pirates and decide to spend your time over at Lady Siren's neck of the woods, Eel's Gape. A little to be known, it's a large like entertainment district for the pirates. So casinos, gambling, taverns.
Huh.
You pretty much just like live up to your life as a Buccaneer for the next month. In a nice quiet manner. Sure, you get a couple of rowdy individuals here and there, but all you have to do is just tell them that you have what essentially is the black spot,
Yeah.
and they will leave you the fuck alone. And if they don't, no one denies you the opportunity to just put a bullet through their head.
No, of course not.
Nah.
It's fine. Some good old-fashioned rough housing.
All right, now, unfortunately, this does mean I'm gonna have to be going through a whole list of shit if you guys will allow me to.
This is
No, this is our Animal House style epilogue.
yeah.
Yep.
Where are they now? What happened to them?
Obviously, Nedra's with Wake, but there's other things going on with her.
I won't get everyone, but however, I will get the ones that I feel people find important. Gore is dead. They have found his remains on the wreckage of the gunship near the Terror Ring archipelago that was created from the blast. Woe treated her duty to having Gore rest in peace fulfilled. However, her and Pops Ravi were migrating to find new homes until the time the onrush occurred. So she decided that a sound idea would to be make a nest at Jahal Cove. And she made a horde, finding Las Aranas to be her new home, finding it that this might be a good place for her to lay down. Pobs made a home near the coast of Avast. His power is fearsome, but Woe claims that he is merely trying to find ways to flaunt his might as a mating ritual for her. So, even if he does kind of like cause shit, basically any of the pirate lords could just go, he's being an asshole, and she'll take care of it.
You know, she's not gonna like that. Woe's not gonna be a fan.
Well, the moment that Woe, it was pretty much discovered that the moment that Woe was cured of her blindness, she is way more powerful than Pobs.
She just anime wife slaps him. The most powerful attack in all of anime.
It's like the fucking speedrunning Mario slap from the Jeremy
Oh
cartoons.
God, yes.
Risp and Pliskin never made up. Pliskin received a large bounty for being a part of the the crew that took out the onrush, that he is now the captain of his own ship. He gathered his own crew and headed south for adventures unknown. Risp still remains in Wright, hiring adventures on extraplanar expeditions to further his research. He is still looking for folks as they come and go very fast.
Yeah.
It's like Reed Richards. Let's go to the negative zone.
Onslow and Relieve started up a hunting lodge on Jahal Cove and spent the rest of their lives happily fending off old young Cletus on an eternal blood feud. Until a few days later, old young Cletus died unceremoniously choking on a spicy pepper.
Yep. That's about as apt an ending for old young Cletus as there could be.
Red and Ziaka adopted Konari after people too commonly mistaken them as parents for the seemingly child Yanti. Red took her mother's place at the head of the Volition, and Ziaka slowly but surely becomes the vicar of the first established church of Udoth in the South Seas.
Good for her.
Roy remains at Wright, forcefully throwing himself into beginning adventurers' quest for a modest fee of the most powerful artifact they find on their journey.
I get the loot.
Coming with you. You're gonna be fine. The job's gonna be done. I get whatever we find.
I get the best thing that we find. But the thing is the quest. I want it.
That's your problem.
Give
to
me
figure
that
out.
exclamation mark.
That thing is that's orange. I want it. It's glowing orange.
Legendary.
Give me Thunder Fury.
Slowbon, after the defeat of Garlux, was brought back to Wright with the help of the Volition, discovering that he himself was not a full-blooded bar guest, but a mutt of some kind, and had theorized that Slowbon is a new type of tiefling, although Slowbon cares very little for this and danced off to the north babbling about full Gorbit's embrace.
Ah, so it doesn't stay with me forever.
Barabbas and Mary May finally settled down after the onrush was destroyed. With his duty fulfilled after 70 long years, he finally retired from being a hero and his martial life, and now they both reside at Silvergleam with a clutch of eggs.
Clutch. I never hear that very often. A group.
It's more of a lizard thing.
I don't know what I was thinking, but yeah.
Polify was offered a job working at the Navy, and she now acts as a seafaring scout in charge of the South Seas. On a new Nolish vessel captained by Quicken.
Hey, Quicken gets to be here too.
Micha, after giving pause to discover what she was decided that Tyler broke something.
Poster fell.
Be happy, fell over. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry.
How's Micha doing?
Micha's doing fine. Micha, after giving pause to discover what she really was, decided to live out her life as it used to be, even with the knowledge that she is a created yet spawn. She returned to South Zealous with her newfound knowledge and her advantage to con her way back into the medical ranks of the city, along with her new partner Valtara. Scrung, ultimately finding reward in finding a working portal, his dream had finally come true. He was able to return to the realm of Haldrum once more, but he found himself in a new predicament. All the technology was not his own. The land was lawless, Steam domains technology, and his time feels off. Scrug's hope for returning truly home has left him, but he smiles, thinking of ways to work on this new predicament into his favor, remembering, when was his father born again?
So wait, so did he go back home but back in time?
Yep.
Okay.
Ah. So he's gonna be his own daddy.
After hearing about Wright, Devilgrin this is how I wrote it, I'm sorry. After hearing about Wright, Devilgrin had only had to use his disguise ability once more, as he took him and his kobold family into the city of Wright, and with his brand of swordsmanship and combat prowess, people from far and wide wanted to see his skills with the blade. Devilgrin not only owns a dojo, but it is now believed that Devilgrin revitalized the adventuring market in Wright.
Oh, good for him. I mean, he was definitely a profiteer.
Yeah.
And now, more time has passed.
How much more time? Because
Enough time.
Mine spans quite a few centuries.
Enough time for all of you. If you had anything else to finish, now would be the time.
All right, so we'll roll initiative again to
Sure.
Knowing all of this, let's say, I would say,
Give me like a minimum amount of time that's passed, and I'll figure.
go a year.
A year? Okay, at least a year. But if it goes super.
It could be in between that time.
Okay, so this is like the middle chunk
Yeah.
of Gotcha.
Both.
The middle paragraph of mine.
Yeah, so middle paragraph to the end. Pretty much give us your ending.
Oh, okay. So
I
we're going
get-
all the way.
yeah.
in.
Go all the
I
way
made- I
in.
made
This
mine
is it,
pretty
gentlemen.
open-ended.
Let's-
At this point, I will shut the fuck up.
All right. Let's one more time then.
Well, I'm going last with Nat 1, so closing out our stuff.
I got an 8, so
I got a nat 1 as well.
Oh shit!
Who has the highest dex?
You
Me,
do,
but
you
I
do.
me, but I will defer to you if
Okay.
you'd like to go first. Just
I mean, yeah, mine's pretty
All right, so,
simple. So
by order, Morgan, Chromagill, and then Wake.
Yeah.
So this is basically the 1-year mark after everything that has happened. Funny enough, it's Morgan decides to send out some letters to some friends ahead of time, about a week and a half ahead of time, to invite everyone back to write, because oddly enough, it's Morgan's birthday before he died.
aw.
Morgan invites everyone over to write, has a nice dinner, talking to everyone's, how's everyone been doing, what have you been up to, sharing stories.
drinking and catching up.
Yep.
I'm drunk, says Chromagill.
Oh! We don't have this back at the circle.
With like 7 more of his sovereign circle there.
Here you go, little one. Try this.
Oh no.
It's okay. He's 80.
What? The party goes on. It gets to dusk and then late into the evening, and Morgan taps on a chalice to get everyone's attention. I'd like to thank everyone for showing up. It's kind of ironic. I haven't celebrated my actual mortal birthday in a while. But there was another reason why I wanted to gather you all here. That battle a year ago kind of took its toll. A lot more than I thought. And with the onrush gone, I don't need to be here anymore. The tether to the mortal realm is gone, and I just wanted to have everyone here to give everyone a heartfelt farewell, because I'm about to go to where I belong. Morgan gestures to the shoreline where you see the Jolly Shark ship and a very familiar champion on a horse on the deck. It has been a very interesting year, and for the first time in my life, I lived more in this year than honestly I ever had. And I just wanted to thank all of you for that, for this second chance that not a lot of mortals ever get. And I hope all of you do well in your ventures, in health, in fortune, and in goodwill. And don't get into too much trouble, because even though I'm not here, I will be watching.
Everyone holds up their grog and laughs at you.
Wake, who's actually been sitting relatively solemn this entire time, when you started speaking, looks up and smiles. First time you've seen him smile all night.
But before I leave, there's some things I'm not allowed to take to the Underrealm, so I have to give away a couple things. Morgan goes down the steps and walks over to Chromagill. I know you're not a fan of metal, Chromagill, but I want you to have this. He gives Chromagill his pipe. Just a little memento. It's in a satchel. Here you go. I know.
Put dead leaves inside of it and smoke.
You burn the remains of plant matter.
Nothing goes to waste, am I right?
That's very true.
You're either hungry or dead.
Dead.
And at least these things can provide someone else comfort in their death. Kind of just looks at it for a while, just like looks at you. Thank you, Morgan. I've had to say goodbye to a lot of people over my years, and this won't be easy. But I wish you luck in your journey as well.
Roll me an insight check, Chromagill.
11.
You know what a hug is after a year.
I give him a big ol' hug.
Morgan laughs and hugs Chromagill nice and tight. Oh.
Avoiding the metal chest
Right.
piece.
Yes.
Well, I'm wearing the
It sizzles on you. Just ow,
Ow, ow.
Worth it for the friendship.
Okay.
Just a
yep.
bubbling rash on your chest.
It leaves an imprint.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you're Right, I forgot about that. Morgan then makes his way over to Wake.
Wake stands up.
Wake, who would have thought that a young merfolk would lead me on a journey, a saga spanning a year, to where I live a second life? I want you to have something. Morgan reaches into his coat and pulls out his pistol.
Wake reaches out with his hand and
Morgan hands the pistol over.
he solemnly looks back up to you.
Thank you. Well, I've never been much for firearms, but I'll cherish this.
I appreciate it. I figured if anyone was going to appreciate a good weapon, it would be you, out of everybody.
I definitely do.
Wake like holds it up, kind of like looks down the sights. It feels unnatural to him,
Still
but it still makes him feel cool.
and admires the
Yeah.
craftsmanship.
And something as a bonus gives him the last chromatic round. Don't use it right now, please. There's people on the streets.
I'll do my best.
Slips it into his satchel.
Also remember, that's the contract for Slowbon.
I know.
Use that and he's free.
You just see Morgan.
But what does that mean?
We don't know.
Exactly. You just see Morgan do this.
Right.
Just kind of points at him, points to Slowbon, just.
Wait, just nods.
No. Oh, I get it.
And the last thing I can't really take with me, he takes off his ring. Well, Morgan walks over to Renziaka. Consider this a congratulatory gift from me.
Red will take it.
Yeah. Well, everyone, it is time.
Every one of the NPCs give you all a heartfelt goodbye. I'm going through all of them.
Right.
We would
No,
be
no.
sitting here for hours.
Yeah.
Wake gives you that like grabbing wrists handshake that with his ghost hand.
Do it again.
Okay.
There we go. Screen cap it.
You son of a bitch! Chillin'!
All right. So with that, you all watch as Morgan is let on the Jolly Shark ship. As all the Jolly Sharks on there, they're all hoopering and hollering and all having a good old grand time. They're all excited to finally have the rest that they've been looking for so many years. And you watch as the ship leaves port, exits off and onto the sunset into the moonlight, and a fog rolls in to overtake the ship. And like that, it is gone.
Wake keeps a close eye on that chromatic round and eyes Slowbon.
Slowbon's kind of just like looking off to the distance at the ship, reaches for the gun.
Slap.
Chromagil just kind of like pass the small mic in it, so we've come with him on this journey. Just be like, and that's how you say goodbye to a friend, little one.
All right, you disappear. No, you disappear.
No, that's not how it. Oh,
Drunk.
we're still learning a little bit.
All right, Chromagil, how do you want to end this?
Okay, so Chromagil, the way he spends his days after this is basically taking what volunteers he can from his circle to just go out with him to see more of the world. And another plan he's started trying to enact is the rapport spores that he has that lets people hear him and hear his people. He's trying to just plant those in general around populated areas to start no longer needing to like sneeze on people for them to hear him. He's trying to get these spores just spreading naturally so that his people can just communicate and talk with other beings.
Like they
more-
just act as speakers, just
Pretty much. just putting out spores that are subtly giving you the mental wavelength to hear these people.
Well, propaganda speakers.
Basically.
Well, after doing so, Volition kind of like takes note of the fact that there are just like these weird multicolored mushrooms growing all over the place. They finally bring you aside, and Red brings you into her office, sits you down.
I just thought it'd be more convenient. We'd be able to speak more freely, and we wouldn't have to have those awkward sneezing introductions. I know.
heard the good word of the Sabrin?
However, I hadn't considered the fact that it is just a loudspeaker for all the Myconids who travel by here, so perhaps I was a bit
She
hasty.
stops you. She holds her hand up. She points over in the corner. You see one, and you hear from that voice, "Redheaded Lord is a bitch."
Ooh, okay. I'll talk to them. I'll make sure that...
No. I have a better solution.
Vaporize.
I have a better solution, Chromagil. Instead of getting rid of these, grant the Volition access to them. We will make amulets so that people can communicate with them without having mushrooms grow on our bodies.
Oh, that would be splendid. That would be... Yes, it's just, I feel like we've always had this natural wall with other beings, because, well, no one likes an introduction by being sneezed on, and it's sort of all we can do at this point.
She kind of like looks at you. She looks at one curl of her hair. She lifts it up. There's like fucking table mushrooms growing down the side of her neck. I've been trying to get rid of these for 4 nights straight, Chromagil.
Oh. You know, it's...
Amulets would be better. Maybe rings.
Appearance and fashion was never something our people really thought about. I hadn't considered the, aesthetic changes it might, incur. Very well.
It seems like an infestation, Chromagil, from a bird's eye view.
You know what? That's understandable. I hadn't quite thought my plan through that far. It just seemed like the simplest way to get my young ones to feel more at home here in this town. My hope is that they can see the world for its beauty that I have and realize that there's more to it than our little circle.
Grant us more of these spores, and you will have rings within the hour.
Well, I will have plenty for you.
As the entire fucking, like, the office of the entire fucking Rights Guild Hall just explodes. Fuck! Because of this, relations have grown with your sovereign at this point. Wright actually is gets a very beneficial boon from its adventuring company with the assistance of druids and warlocks and sorcerers that, at this point, you have actually been receiving word from Konari and a bunch of other, like, because of your cloak, you've been getting visions as you slumber at night, saying that because of your meddling in the affairs of Udath,
Well, you know.
you are somewhat a sovereign can also be somewhat akin to a patron. You are a warlock patron.
Oh my god.
All right.
You have ascended, good
Okay.
sir.
You go
now
to sleep.
grant others power.
You go to sleep at night now knowing that you have the capacity to lend your voice to others and to lend your spores to others, should they so choose to. Other adventurers come from around the world who wish to know druidic ways come to you now asking to be warlocks, sorcerers, and druids under your leadership.
The first thing he offers them is a nice greeting, a big friendly hello, and then let's just sit for a while and just waits in silence with them to observe them.
Congratulations, you're now a patron.
Hooray! They have to sit through my patience training of, I was sitting here for 1,000 years before I decided to leave. Let's see what you learned from a few weeks.
What you got?
I'm hungry.
Oh,
Then you'd rather be dead.
yeah, that's a good place to be in this school.
Yeah, no, I'm hungry. Better than the alternative.
What?
Wait.
All right. Well, after cleaning up in Ibrakal, he would travel down to Venin for looking to, rest and retire with the girl he fell in love with. But upon arriving in Venin, he would learn the fate of Calliope from the elders of that village, and this would set Wake off in a path of depression that would last for quite a decent amount of time. He'd fall into isolation, looking to his orb and thinking quite often about doing something drastic. Eventually he, Nedra being there is what's kind of keeping him from not doing that. And eventually he'd receive the summons for your party, at which point he sees you openly accept death so graciously and kindly, and it just sets him on a new path of thinking. He travels back to, he decides to travel the world for a little bit with Nedra, focusing and refiguring things out for himself.
Sheldon goes with you.
Sure.
But only after a month, and he realizes how much you've actually grown in spirit and in soul and in body.
In the first month that we travel to a few ports where there are lots of orphan children, And Wake, Sheldon, and Nedra would do their best to, help them out where they could, either finding them foster home or getting them food or teaching them to survive or even adopting them as part of the Sheldon's monastery.
Sheldon at this point kind of like the night before he leaves, he decides that you don't need him anymore. He's probably better off just going to Wright and assisting with everyone there. He puts his hand on your shoulder and he sagely nods at you with a smile. He finally tells you Wake, I'm sorry I treated you like the younger sibling that you were back at the monastery.
There's still a lot for me to learn.
Life is learning, Wake.
And that's what I gotta go do.
And Wake continues his travels with Nedra, helping to ferry back orphans to the monastery where he would eventually settle for a while, helping to teach the next generation. Eventually, the onrush being what it was, destroying as many families as it did, the monastery would eventually start to run out of room, and Wake and Sheldon's teaching methods, they continue to butt heads as time goes on. Wake is far more impulsive and combat focused than Sheldon is, would eventually decide to go and form his own monastery, taking a chunk of the students that have drifted to Wake's side along with him. Not that they're combative in any way, but it's time to move on at a certain point.
Perhaps a friendly rivalry.
Yeah, Wake would go and return to Venin. This is probably some years after Morgan had passed, and he would build a monastery and, I guess, Fey Dragon sanctuary. Due to our- It's okay, there's beehives, so there's lots of honey. He would actually build his, along with the townsfolk and his students, would construct his monastery around that Mage's Tower where he first met Calliope, which would, in Wake's mind, help him get some closure and meditate on the fact. Years would pass, a century at this point, getting towards the end of Wake's lifespan. And finally, after training Nedra for so long and training with so many students, he passes the reins on to her, hangs up his trident and looks at his gift from the Archfey one last time, finally deciding to use it, not to bring back anybody that he has lost, but to, remembering Morgan's sacrifice, open a portal to Vecker. He gives Nedra one last hug goodbye, a farewell to his students, passes the orb onto her, and willingly steps through to rejoin the friends that he had lost and await the friends that he had made.
One last thing before we close out. Nedra hides the orb away. Now that Venin Island has become a sort of a monastery for your teachings, she does take on the responsibility for quite some time. She is a lot less erratic.
Impulsive. I mean, this is like a century later.
Yeah.
Tons of training has gone by.
She is a very different person at this point. And after seeing everyone get their closure and seeing so many friends either move on, pass on, or live their lives to the fullest, after living a good part of her life the way she felt it was deemed worthy, and after knowing all your teachings, she felt there was one last thing that needed to be done. At the course of the night, over a couple of nights, she gets these dreams. Words and whispers. Things that try to tell her dark things, like in her past history. Knowing that this is complete bullshit, that, hearing the dark impulses within her is a kind of a bad sign. Though she kind of stopped and thought about it one day after meditating. That's not the dark impulses telling her what to do. Maybe she was looking at this the wrong way. Instead, why was these dark voices appearing to her in the first place? And then it finally dawned on her. A wanderlust began to drive her a little bit, wanting to leave the island. Her birthplace was calling to her. To finally know what her past could be. To finally know who she was, what kind of person she was, and the fact that this has been mulling with her as well. She didn't return to any hellscape that Garlux was sent to, and she knows of her history, of the fact that she has Galbrazu in her. That wanderlust would set her off on her own adventure years later, where she left Venin Island and found herself staring off at the archipelago of Barnacle Bay. And that's where we'll end this session and this campaign.
Ah.
All right.
Good job, Zito. Bravo.
Made it. Symbolically, I reduced my hit points to 0 and failed all my death saving
Oh,
throws.
nice. Way to go. Damn. That's
Okay.
And you'll live for 1,000 years yet to come.
Yeah, Chromagil just basically gets to just keep on going. Oldest member of the crew, still on trucking.
Yeah.
Go figure. It's hard to kill a mushroom.
Yeah.
It took Wake years to figure out how to get those off. Lots of fire, it
You can
turns out.
still hear him in the back of your head sometimes.
Oh.
Now Zito returns to cryostasis, to sleep for a few months before he decides to make something new. But that will be for Nick.
Forever sleep.
No, not forever sleep. But the next campaign, Nick will be helming.
I will be. It's not going to be 5e.
Oh yeah.
So it's gonna be a system that we've worked with a little bit, but I have retooled a lot of things. We did a little one-shot of, well, we did several one-shots of
Yeah.
the system, but I'm still retooling it to make it a little bit more palpable for the setting that we'll be in. Don't expect that until
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you have any sort of
I was
ETA
gonna say Q1, borderline Q2 of 2020. So
Okay.
February, March is probably where we're going to begin our next campaign. So we're going to be doing a lot of one shots here, various tabletop games,
exploring other
or
board games, other tabletop
Yeah.
games?
Yeah.
even like little 5e one shots. I know there was one that you've been playing around with.
There has been. The world of tabletop is very vast and has way more things other than just D&D, and variety is the spice of life. So,
Yeah.
hey, I'm not opposed to me ever coming back to doing something D&D again.
Of course.
But if we ever do something long form, no more than 6 months.
gonna try and
No more than 6 months.
I can see
because
it.
I
I
don't
can
not
s- okay.
not because of the way what you're thinking, but because there's so many fucking things I like to do. Like in D&D, the whole reason why I like D&D in the first place is because I like to create things. This whole fucking world is that choice. It's just like I see a lot of people in the comments go, "Oh, it's just Zito's homebrew," and I'm like, you know what? I don't take that as a insult. Like,
No, there's nothing wrong with
there's
that.
nothing wrong with that, and it's also fun to see that people get into it in ways. So, I like the idea of going into a world, giving it a little bit of love and a little bit of like of care and nurture, and then we stop. And if people like it, we can go back to it. But the world is vast enough that there could always be another party. There's always another party. There's always another set of adventurers. There's always other stories. That's the fucking magic of this game.
I mean, the first rule of D&D is the rule of fun.
Yeah.
Even Gygax says the one thing that you should not tell people is that GMs really don't have rules. The rules don't matter.
The rules are guidelines.
Yeah. So flubbing things every now and again to make sure things
Oh.
flow in the terms of fun. Yeah, but there's
and
still gotta
trust
be
me,
risk.
And trust me, chat, I've made mistakes. I've made choices that change things. But hey, it was for the sake of fun and that the players have fun. I
Yeah,
want to make
fun-
sure. I
fun
want to
and-
make
fun
sure
and
that they're having
continuity.
fun. Yeah, no, I want to make sure you guys are having fun. I want to make sure that. Listen, here's the thing: is that if we didn't have the audience, the factor could be so different. There would be way more flubbing of rules at that point.
Oh, absolutely.
But as the audience, you guys are all here for a story and entertainment purposes, so
And then some of you gotta be rules lawyers.
No,
But-
no,
but-
no, no, no,
it's-
no,
it's- It is like, I mean, there is a part of that.
No,
you
but
would
here's the
flub
thing.
more because there wouldn't be people.
no. See,
If you didn't have so many prying eyes.
people, listen. I've actually taken a few things to heart when people say that they want a rules lawyer, a couple things, because hey, you're right, and I make mistakes and I flub a lot of shit, and I do a lot of stupid things, but
It's a lot to keep
I
track
do
of.
things to make sure that you guys are having fun, you guys, and then the audience is getting entertainment out of it. So it's a balancing act, but I have to say, for the past 2 years, it's been a fun balancing act. And thank you for sticking around this long.
I think you
Absolutely.
put together a hell of a campaign.
Mm-hmm. From beginning to end, we made it, and we wouldn't be doing this without you guys out there. So thank you all for being a part of our crew for this. Now,
Fan art.
Yeah,
I was
we
gonna say,
absolutely have
We have
fan
a few
art.
pieces
This,
of fan art before we sign off.
Speaking of all the people who've
Yeah, sorry for the
Stuck around
shorter episode today, but it was going to happen.
Yes.
last week was kind of like the true finale. This was definitely the
Yeah, we went over by an hour last week, under
Yeah.
by an hour or so this week.
Yeah.
Hey, and I'm also gonna say this. I'm gonna go ahead and just answer the most common question I get all the fucking time for D&D, or just in general. How do I be a DM? Here's the best part about that. I don't fucking know. I've been running on the seat of my pants this entire time. I've wrote notes, I've redesigned stories, but at the end of the day, it's whatever you think is fun for everyone else. I have no golden rule. There is no golden rule. Gygax said there's no golden rule.
Yeah.
Just fucking do what you think is fun.
The first rule is there are no rules. Second rule, no outside food.
Oh no.
So there you go. As my advice, if you want to get into D&D and be a DM, do what you think your players will have fun with.
Yeah, have fun, take inspiration from things you love and know, and roll with the punches because the players will throw wrenches into literally everything.
As the first
Yes, they will.
The first D&D campaign I've ever finished. This was real fun.
Yeah, speaking of which, we ran a pilot episode of this a couple weeks ago, the Talkcast Pod Show, and tomorrow I would love to have Grant, you, and Zito on to chat about, like, we were here from beginning to end, and there are 3 seats available, so
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'd love to chit chat about everything that we've been doing, as well as a few other things tomorrow at 3 o'clock Central Time here on this channel.
Sure, I'm down.
I'll be there.
Wicked. All right, I've looped them in. They had no choice
Yeah,
but to
nah,
say yes
verbal
on,
contract,
on
I'm stuck.
camera.
Social contract.
Yeah. Can't get me now. Can't get me now. I'm already dead.
Roll for
I was
sadness.
gonna say roll severity.
Roll for sadness.
I already rolled my own sadness.
Wow, critical failure.
Very
You
sad.
have to be happy now.
All right,
Well, what makes me happy is fan art.
Tyler.
Segue.
Who is this from?
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
You know what?
Number 1.
Yep.
Crichton. 9873.
Right.
Clayton.
I love that.
Clayton.
Yeah, Clayton with his Gendy style. I fucking love it.
Hanna-Barbera style.
Hanna-Barbera
Turner.
style. I'm sorry, but Wake looks like Samurai Jack, so that's Gendy
Yeah.
to me.
No, I can see it. Yeah,
Well,
and there's
the-
like
the
some
whole-
Billy and Mandy.
Oh
there.
yeah, and then there's a Johnny Bravo.
That's why I said the whole gang is Turner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? Hold on. Let me do fan art real quick because I can find these faster than anything else.
And I guess Nedra down there is Mabel.
Yep.
Yeah, she's Mabel. Oh wait, yeah, we got a little. Oh god, we have a little bit of the mouse in there,
A little bit of the mouse.
and actually we got a little bit of silver in there too with red.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And Vasquez, it's a whole fucking cavalcade of cartoons in here.
I mean, even Morgan's Vinny from Atlantis,
Mm-hmm.
the demolition. Yeah. Hey, look! I
Fliskin
made a
is-
ghost. It only took me what? 10 seconds. 11 tops.
11 tops.
Fliskin is terrifying. He's an anglerfish.
I love Johnny Gorbo.
I think he's from Ben 10.
Yeah, it's one of
Oh,
the
Ben
alien
10,
forms of
gotcha,
Ben 10.
okay.
Ripjaw, I think, is the name of it.
Ripjaw. Okay, yeah, because I know
and,
jack
and of
shit
course
about that show.
Digimon Risp.
Yep. As
Naturally.
Yep.
Okay. Well, thank you very much,
Great
Clayton
stuff.
9873.
Fucking awesome. Loving it.
Next up,
Oh.
from Kaiju
That
Fang.
really has to hurt there, Chromagill. This
What?
is worth it.
I can take this off whenever I want. Didn't I say
Oh.
that?
Oh, daring sea travelers, though the curtain may fall, the impact you've left on our spirits will never fade. Through hardship, kinship, and shenanigans, you nat one your way into our hearts. Oh, brave 4 heroes. Poem by Kaiju Fang.
I love that Dagon still looks a bit like Boompower.
Oh yeah, I think I was saying that on guard by Chromagill. I didn't see that.
Dang, I don't know. Talking about that, son, I eat my sword, man. I'm talking about that.
Also, I like how you have Crate in the center there, so thanks for that. AKA the little version I draw myself as a kobold for.
Ezra taking a big theatrical bow.
Wait, just being humble. Still has both arms.
Bless you.
Thank you.
It's all just stage makeup. The
Yeah.
ghost hand, really.
Yeah, he just covered his arm.
I'm really just a guy inside a costume.
Yeah, look at this.
I'm a gnome and a mushroom.
Look, I gotta be at a Guillermo del Toro set in a couple of hours here. Just Keep the makeup.
Oh man, all right, yeah. My next character is going to be whatever I can play as multiple characters, like a legion, like 3 kobolds and a trench coat.
Well, do I have a surprise for you?
Man, if you said that, I actually have a fucking book that allows you to be a Hydra. That's 2 or 3 characters in one.
Ooh.
There are a lot of fun, stupid races in the shit I'm working on.
All right, next up, Caesar Morales.
Yeah!
Ziga Exaron. With the campaign coming to an end, I'd like to say for the many hours of entertainment. Thanks for the many hours of entertainment. This journey has been inspirational, and I hope that the team will come up with another great adventure to have at the table ASAP.
I love Wake's 3 ninjas pose.
I'm just like, friends, we go this way.
Wait, he has a hand!
I'm gonna kick it so hard.
You know what? At a certain angle, that almost looks like Chromagill's doing the fucking Sonic Adventure 2 pose.
Oh my god.
All he,
Yeah.
all he has to do is just put his one hand pointing 6 o'clock.
I mean, it kind of is from the bend at the elbow on the
Yep.
arm.
Sick, Ziga. Thank you so much.
Just very Sonic pose.
Thank you so much. Next up.
Oh, he's fixing a thing.
Here we
No,
go.
he's doing
Oh,
the
okay,
thing.
he's doing a thing.
Wouldn't be right to go out without doing this a little bit.
Yeah.
No, we
It's been
we
a
built
tradition
this
as of
gimmick.
late.
I might actually grab the helm at the tech desk because we got another piece that came in just now.
Oh shit.
Oh, wow.
Oh, this is Bangarang. I know
Yeah.
that. I know that art style.
Bangarang Aliko, the crew getting ready for the final push against Lord Garlux and his demon rush.
We are way too healthy for what that's going on about.
Also, man, I feel like I don't think I've seen Grammy as a kind of short and
No,
stout.
I kind of love Grammy DeVito.
Yeah, I'm into Grammy DeVito. See, here's the best part. I'm so happy I never gave her a physical description.
Yep.
I'm so fucking happy I never did that.
just blue sea hag.
Blue Sea Hag.
As far as I got.
I did at first think about making her a sea elf that was a witch. Thus why that happened. But you know what? I was like, no, because sea elf kind of implies that she used to be beautiful or was a certain race. I want her to be a figment.
Just always. I've been like
I
that.
want her to be a fucking enigma.
And so she shall remain,
Very good stuff, though.
as much a part of the soul of La Serranis as Kelpie herself.
Next up, do we have another?
Yep, next up.
Oh, he's I
Do
love.
not be alarmed by my expression. Wake showed me this amazing thing called a marker. Now I can have all the expressions.
That is actually a really good interpretation of the big fuck off axe.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
That's very accurate to... This is pretty much what he was looking like for most of the travel, because I had that axe for a while and I never put it down.
Yeah.
It's always on me at some point.
From Rin Rabbit, my first ever fan art. Hope you like it.
It's
my,
awesome.
My
I'm
boyfriend
honored
and
that
I.
your first was mine.
My boyfriend and I have been watching since episode 1, and Connor has been watching you guys since season 1 of DBZ Abridged.
Wow.
We
Oh,
hope
yeah.
to continue. We hope you continue more campaigns. Thank you for always brightening our week.
Well, thank you so much for watching. This is incredible. I love the line work. Like
Yep.
The smile makes me smile.
the color selection as well. They complement each other so it's just so bright and pretty. I could see this. I could easily see this as a sticker.
I
Yeah,
love
like, this
that.
is
I love
pretty.
that Chromagill's flesh has the bleeding cap boils.
Yes, the
Yep.
little boils on him. Yeah. No, that's great. I love how he looks here, and I don't think I've ever thought about like the color of like the top of his cap, since I was always talking about how colorful his gills were. But I kind of like the red, kind of like just a little hat that he's wearing.
Yeah, it's great. I also like how baggy it looks.
Yeah.
It
Yep.
It's kind of got that the greatest adventure sort of vibe going on
No,
with
yeah,
Oh,
that
yeah.
hat.
feel very Lord of the Ringsy. Wearing my hood. And it's smiling just like I am.
There you go. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, thank you. And next up,
Yo!
hold on, this one kind of escaped me a little bit. Here we go. From K. Constantino, I've had a blast watching the TFS at the Table campaign, so of course I had to commemorate by the finishing blow in ink.
That looks rad.
I am
yeah.
awestruck. I also love that the ghost of Calliope, Ezra, and Eloy are behind
Yeah.
Wake there.
Yep,
Oh, this is amazing.
so rad.
With his silhouette, Chromagill almost looks like Raiden.
he does.
he does.
I'm the god of thunder!
Liu Kang, stand down!
I must consort with the elder gods!
Oh man, that makes me Scorpion then with the chains.
Hell yeah, it does. You're ripping his soul. You're ripping his skeleton out with him.
When you get back to hell, tell him the Wonder sent you. Hydrogen!
Or as some people have been calling it, Final Splash!
Nice.
Okay.
Very, very
Hell
cool.
yeah.
Thank you so much. Next up.
Fantastic.
Okay.
He wants to get them all displayed.
Ah, look at us.
Mini Studio 95.
Yep, Venomous Vinny. So, since tonight's the last episode, I wanted to say thanks to you guys all for introducing me to D&D and help me grow as an artist and help me meet some great people. Thanks to everyone at the table. So here's my last piece of fan art for all the PCs.
Hell yeah. Thank you so much, Vinny. And thank you for all the fan art that you've dropped over the, I guess, 2.5 years now.
2.5
Yeah.
years, yeah.
Proud of you, Wake.
We all made it.
Oh,
I'm gonna take a nap.
I'm taking the big sleep. He deserved it.
I know.
man.
Yeah, he
An
does.
eternal nap.
Your eternal reward.
And I'm-
Yes.
and I'm not-
Yes. Yes.
And I'm not talking about the Salvador Dali painting.
He just looks so cool.
Yeah.
With his eyes like that, it almost looks like he's wearing shades.
Yeah.
Kinda, yeah.
They've always been pitch black just because he's got fish eyes.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Awesome
Next
possum.
up.
Oh,
E to
Oh,
Z.
yeah.
From E to Z.
Follow us into the sun.
Look at all these boys and girls heading on off into the distance.
Oh, even little.
Who's the silhouette in the sun? I can't see.
I think this is supposed to be Grammy.
Oh.
Hold on.
Oh no.
Because it's flying back there.
I am eternal!
She approaches.
The Harbinger.
No, this is, yeah. That,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
correct.
that's supposed to
Why
be
is
Grammy.
she the sun?
She's the
Here
source of all
comes
light.
the sun! Doo-doo-doo-doo!
This is how I actually kind of imagine Wake when he steps through the portal. He's like, everyone.
Even Scrung's there. I'm stuck in the past!
Help me! Time makes no sense anymore! I'm now, but I'm also then, but I'm also later!
I don't get it.
Yep, I said in Raiden, time has no meaning unless you're actually in the God of Time's realm.
Thank you kindly for this one last piece of Wonders art there.
Thank you.
Gita.
Next up,
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
from
alternate universe.
Scandranin01, a throwback, fan art of Nedra knocking it out of the park in honor of tonight's event.
I like that her number is 666.
Mhm.
It works.
Yep.
Yep. She's calling the shot.
Going along with it.
You there.
You there, I'm gonna beat you silly.
There we go.
And the pitch. And it's decapitated. Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah.
She's killed the catcher. Oh boy.
Home run!
First base is dead. Second base is dead. Okay, somebody tell her to drop the bat.
Take a base, please.
All the other batters are dumb. They keep dropping the bat. I'm bringing it with me.
That's not how this. Oh.
Yeah!
And she's fundamentally changed the game.
The other team does have to forfeit due to lack of players, though, so...
Because victory goes to the Wonders again.
Very nice. Thank you, Scandranin. Next up, from
the dark moon.
Zap Shakur, digital painting of the TFS at the Table approaching endgame.
That was a real scary part.
The black sun and everything.
Got kind of an Eye of Sauron feeling from it, where just
Yeah.
anytime we looked at it, I was like, oh no, I think this is how the bad guys can see us.
I mean, you're not wrong. Garlux was watching the whole fight through that whole entire
Watch
thing.
the
was
sun
in-
dies.
Yep.
What the fuck? What the fuck? Come on!
No son of mine.
Damn it!
He was clearly a Soundgarden fan.
There was... Black hole sun, won't you come and wash away my boy?
My boy.
Oh my God, are you gonna transform me into Miracle Matter from Kirby?
Oh no, O2. There we go.
While you were sucking up everything up like a fat boy at Golden Corral, I gained all the star powers in the universe and became God!
Oh no.
Thank you so much. Next up,
Hey,
Oh, wow.
wow. Holy shit.
give me a hot second because I gotta roll back for this one.
IanKidMakes.com.
Yep. Here we go.
Just the watermark
Yep,
for the
from
background.
the Ian Kid.
That is video game concept art if I ever saw
With
it.
the ending coming up, I finally found time to draw my take on the main lads of Part 2. It's thanks to this show that I got into D&D, and for that I will forever be grateful.
Chromagil looks so sad just to
Why
be
do I
where he
have
is.
to do this?
I found a new emotion! Sadness!
I've suddenly realized that in the outside of my circle, being plump isn't attractive, and I don't know what to do.
Oh, gee. I really don't want to have to beat you with this stick, but I'm on a...
Oh,
There's a penny lodged in the stick. I can feel it.
It's a shame you're evil. I have to hit you with this now.
Don't worry, I'm not sad, but I was sad a day ago.
I stubbed my toe yesterday.
Don't worry.
Still reacting.
This will only hurt a lot.
I had to kill someone yesterday, too.
Oh, bother. That's like the fucking most Eeyore thing ever.
No, you want to talk Eeyore, Morgan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Killing everyone.
Here I go killing again.
Okay, now give me a hot second because, like I said, someone put one last-minute item,
Okay.
and
Okay.
I'd like to show it off before
A
we talk.
final piece of art.
Absolutely, one last piece of art to add to this massive
This big ol'
collage,
collage.
of
You go ahead
amazing
and sit.
fan art.
Sit at the table, Tyler. You be the DM.
Yeah, you be the sun for a second.
But now you can. Okay, there you go. So you know what the part takes. Starting off good.
Fucking up.
Off to a good
Sit at
start.
a table, right?
He's God.
Yeah,
He can sit at it however he wants.
he is the black hole sun right now. He's got this.
Man, so many fun characters and so many fun ways for people to imagine them. Like,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
didn't think about
That's
that.
the beauty of
aspect
this game.
Bye preview.
It's bad.
Oh, preview's out.
No,
No,
we
No,
got
no,
it
no,
back.
no,
got
it's
back.
fine.
I think it's just when you clicked outside or something, it did it.
It didn't like whatever you did a second ago, but then it fixed itself.
Yep.
Ah,
This one's gonna be from the Blind Artist 01.
the
The
blind
Blind
artist
Artist
won.
01.
Oh, here we are.
Whoop, that's a big picture.
It's a big boy.
There
Bam.
we go.
Nice.
Aw.
Oh,
Wake's toothy grin.
are so cool.
I like that Wake's teeth are luminescent. God, wow, this is awesome. Actually, I'd love to. I love the stencil of this.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's,
yeah.
That's real cool. I like how we got a little.
Negative spacing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Rispin, please keep talking to me,
I can't imagine a better piece of art to go out on than this one.
Thank you, guys.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you all so much. This
And-
was amazing. Thank you all.
Thank you so much for making all this happen. Later, Wonders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see you next time.
At the table.